Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Trey back with another video. As you see in the title, it says low bar versus high bar squat, which is better. So we're gonna get into that, break down the differences between the two. Even though I do have an old video with the type of squats, I probably will repost that in the near future so that way y'all got more of an idea about different squats. But anyway, we're gonna talk about just mainly the main two squats that is used by pretty much a lot of people. But before we get to that, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. Helps me out a lot, reach a broader audience, to grow this channel to how I had it with my previous channel. Also leave a comment, tell me what you think about this video, so we get, of course, try to hit the algorithm, start up a conversation maybe. Also hit that notification bell for all future uploads, and share this video with anybody who might have grips with low bar and high bar squat. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this video. Now, I showed this particular clip first because it was this particular clip that had sparked a conversation in the comments. This was prior to my previous channel getting deleted. It was like a week or two before it had them deleted. It sparked a conversation with people telling me I'm not going low enough on my squat. And I was sitting here trying to explain to them I am doing a low bar squat. And the low bar squat, you don't need to go as deep as a regular squat, which is the high bar squat. And I'm trying to explain that to these guys, the differences between them. They act like they didn't want to hear it. And I wish I should have screenshot those comments so I could actually post them up here. I wish I did that, or the foresight to do that. But that was sparked making this video because of those comments and me kind of arguing with those people. It's like some of these people, you got all this information in front of you. You got a smartphone, you got laptops, computers. You can easily look up this information, but they think I'm not going deep enough. Or one guy tried to use the argument saying competition. In competition, they don't make you go lower. Yeah, but actually, I'm gonna hit that competition one later because I got I can't show the clips, but I got some screenshots of these people in doing these competitions, and I will explain something related to those. But yeah, it was like a full-blown argument about me not going deep enough, and trust me, I'm going as deep as you can because the low bar squat, your trunk is flat. So basically, you are more leaned over more. You are hinged over, like you're leaning over more because you have to support the weight. Because if you're sitting up, there's a problem why you should never sit up while doing a low bar squat, but I'm gonna explain that later. So this next thing, I got two clips of me. I recorded myself from two different angles of me doing a low bar squat, and I actually tried to record these at the same time. And it was kind of hard to get them close as possible, but I was able to get them close as possible. So bear with these clips. Bear with me with these next clips, please. All right, I'm showing them again with more slowed down. You can see me going to my phone. I did 3 just for the sake of these videos. The bar is behind my shoulders, behind my real delts, and lower on my upper back. And you see that on the other one, I'm going as deep as I possibly can because you see me swamped over, hinged over, like you're supposed to. You should never be sitting up in a low bar squat. So yeah, they was literally getting on me. This I took after the fact. So yeah, they was getting on me about I'm not going low enough, but this is how it's supposed to be. And there's a reason why I had to do low bar squat, because, well, actually I got an article that will explain that. That helps me explain that more. Yes, I am I'm not going to go through the whole article, but it's like the pros and the base of the pros of both the low bar squat and the high bar squat. And there's a reason why I go to low bar squat. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and say that reason now. I prefer low bar squat because it don't put as much strain on my knees as the high bar squat does. Because the low bar squat, it is posterior chain loaded. What I mean by posterior chain, the muscles of the back end focus. It's more focused on the muscles on the back end of the lower body, your low back, your glutes, your hammies. It's more focused on those. Yes, your quads are still working, but it puts more emphasis on those muscles more. While the high bar squat puts a lot more emphasis on the quads, more so than the glutes, the low back, and the hamstrings. But the high bar squat puts a lot more strain on your knees, so that's why I don't do high bar squat, because I can feel my knee about to going heavy on a high bar squat. So that's why I do low bar squat, put less strain on your knees, and I don't have much flexibility in my hips. So that's another reason. Low bar squat is made for people who don't have much flexibility in the hips, and I don't have much of that in my hips. Let alone I have a very bad knee, well, 2 bad knees technically. So that's why I do low bar squat. And if this even count, the low bar squat also is more beneficial for somebody who's tall. And me being tall, that helps me out more. I am 6'4", so doing a high bar squat, I have to go deeper than most people because I have longer legs. So yeah, and my center of gravity is gonna be a bit more higher than most people. But anyway, that's enough of that. So this next clip I got is me in a high bar squat. And yes, I can go deep in high bar squat, but I hate that high bar squat because I can feel it in my knees. I could truly feel it in my knees. And I only did 2 reps, but you'll see that I'm making adjustment and I can feel it. You can tell I feel it when I'm even doing these 2 reps. You'll see. So yeah, you see me doing a high bar squat. I only did 2 reps, but that was just only to show my form and that I can't actually go deep. But like I said, the difference in form also depends on, how can I explain? Difference in form is going to show different limitations or different depth. Low bar squat, you don't need to go that deep. As long as you actually get the full movement of it. It's like say if you got limited hip movement, you're not going to able to go as deep as you think you should. And a lot of people, when they being a low bar squat, they not in the form correct most of the time. There's always 2 main things that causes the form to be incorrect. And that's what I'm about to show next with 4 screenshots and another video of how it should look like if you lifting too heavy doing a low bar squat. Now, I got these 4 screenshots up here. Now, the link to these videos, I will put the link of these 4 particular clips in the description below. These are from Instagram, and I think it's from something called Gym Injuries. Yes, Gym Injuries. I think that's what they handle. And all these have in common, they're all in low bar squat, and they sit more upright than being hinged. If you're gonna be in a low bar squat, you should be hinged over more. 3 of them is sitting more upright than they should be. Thus, what lead to them to getting injured. Now, the 2 girls and the guy to the far right, they all break their forearm. Because there's another thing because when you're in a low bar squat, if you sitting up, all the weight is on your arms. It's not on your back and shoulders like it should be. That's why you should be hinged over when you're in a low bar squat. You should be hinged, or your trunk, you should be flexed. Your trunk should be flexed to be in, so you can support the weight on your back like you should. But if you're sitting upright, guess what? The arms have to support all that weight instead. And when your arms are supporting that weight, your arms are gonna give out because you're putting a lot of stress on your forearms. And unfortunately for the 2 girls and that guy, all their forearms break because of that. Like seriously. And the placement of the hands is a bad spot because you're in a low bar squat. Your hands should not be as close as possible to your shoulders. It should be more spread out. You should be hinged over. Hands should be more spread out, and your elbows should be pointing backwards a bit, almost parallel to the ground. Almost. That's not always the case, but that will all of them have in common. Now, the guy in the middle, the guy between the screenshot between the 2 girls, his knee gives out, and he's sitting upright in this high bar squat. So low bar squat. He's in a low bar squat, but he's sitting up like he's in a high bar squat. So because of that, his knee gave out on him. Yeah, in the high bar squat, it puts more stress on your knees. So that's what happened with him. He's sitting upright and his knees gave out. The other three, they snapped their wrist. Their forearm, not wrist. And it's very gruesome. Very, very, very gruesome. Ugh. Some of you might have seen these clips before, but yeah, it's very freaking gruesome. That's what happens when you don't be in the form correctly. And you got idiots want to argue with me talking about I need to be sitting up and I need to go lower. No. Low bar squat, you need to be hinged over more. You should be at between a 45 and 60 degree angle. When I mean by 45, you should be at 45 or 60 degree angle, hinging over with the bar on your back. So that way your back is supporting that weight. Not your arms, not your hands, not your wrists, your shoulders. Your back, upper back should be supporting that weight with your hands keeping the lock there. But if you sit up, all that weight is on your arms instead and your forearms are going to shatter. Unfortunately for 3 of these people. So yeah, I treat stuff like this very seriously. And I know what the hell I'll be talking about. I mean, I didn't go to school for this for no reason. I am a personal trainer. I am an exercise physiologist. And to even be an exercise physiologist, you got to have a bachelor's degree anyway. I am a sports performance specialist through ACE. That's something I got recently. And I'm a group fit instructor. So, I mean, come on now. If I want to say I could even say I got a master's degree because I do, but I don't flaunt it. But you can always look up this information easily. You can just look it up. Take the time to research it. That's all you gotta do. But this don't happen when you got people who don't want to research and don't want to fact check stuff. So, next is a clip of a guy who is in a low bar squat, and see what happened when you ego lifting in a low bar squat. You'll see what actually happens when you're in the correct form, but you ego lifting in that form. So yeah, this is what happens when you ego lift in a low bar squat form. That weight you're trying to push back up is going to cause you to lean forward more. That's why you have to engage your back and glutes more when you're in a low back form, because you got to keep that weight there while also trying to squat. So with him trying to do that squat while in low bar form, yes, that weight is going forward and not backwards. You're going to tilt over more, and that's why he ended up flipping over the bar. So that's how it would look if you ego lift in a low bar squat, for sure. But next up, I got the article that I'm talking about, just showing the pros to both the high bar squat and the low bar squat. I'm not going to go through the whole article, just that was in particular, and probably highlight a certain spot in the article also. All right, what I got highlighted here is the position of the high bar squat, which is right on top of your shoulders, just behind your neck. Then you got the position of the low bar squat, which should be centered on the back of your shoulders, on the middle portion of your back also. And like I said, your hands should not be so close to your shoulders. They should be a little more farther out compared to the high bar squat. So, if I remember, where is it? Right here. See where I'm highlighting. Low bar squat is more suitable for taller individuals or those with longer femurs. Since I'm a taller individual, low bar squat is better for me. And yes, my knees feel better after I do a low bar squat. My knees feel horrible after if I do like two sets of high bar squats. And I always had problems with that. That's for most of my life. As you can see, femur lift could affect center of mass and balance. And that's what I mentioned. Since I have a higher center of gravity, higher center of mass, because I'm taller, it might be better for me to do a low bar squat, which it is. It utilizes a slight hinge position. I don't know why I say slight, but like I said, the angle could be between 45 degrees and 60 degrees. Depends on the person. But yeah, you should be slightly bent over. That leans the hips back and results in less hip flexion compared to the high bar squat, which means since you're already hinged over, you're not going to get much flexibility in that hip when you're squatting down, which limit your movement. Why you can't go all the way down. That's what it means by that. In contrast, the high bar squat is more suited for people with shorter femurs and greater hip flexibility. And I don't have great hip flexibility. So shorter people is better off doing a high bar squat, basically. These individuals can squat straight down and maintain balance easily. For Olympic weightlifters, high bar squat has greater carryover into their sport. Low bar squat may be better suited for larger individuals who have difficulty with hip flexion. And I do have a problem with hip flexion and knee problems. So I have to do a high bar squat for me to get my squats in. And squat is my favorite exercise, leg day exercise. I do that first. That's why I go the heaviest on. But anyway, like I said, I'm not going to go to this hard because now it's time to go to the benefits of the high bar squat. First, improved mobility. High bar squats require great ankle and hip mobility compared to low bar squats and can help improve overall mobility and flexibility. Since I do have limited ankle mobility, most of my injuries came at the ankle, in my ankles. And I don't have good hip flexion. So low bar squat is more beneficial for me. I'm not saying, but you do have a lot of people who have very limited ankle mobility. So I would recommend for some of these people to try low bar squat, since because I know some people do their squats with their heels elevated. I never recommend that to people because it's kind of stupid to me. But I understand the concept because the ankle mobility. So that's why I just do the low bar squat, how can I say this? Which can cover the fact of your limited ankle mobility and hip mobility and knee problems. So, and also you can lift heavy with low bar, but I'm still, Increased vertical jump for those who prefer, increased vertical jump, high bar squat recruits quadriceps and glutes to a greater degree, which can lead to increased vertical jump performance. Now this is better for the people who need to do jump a lot. That's your basketball players and football players mainly, particularly your receivers and corners, your D-backs, I mean. But anyway, better for front squats. Position the bar high bar squats similar to that of front squats. Make high bar squats excellent exercise, improve front squat performance, because high bar and front squats, they basically the same exercise, just the position of the bar. They both still more front loaded. So yeah, the high bar squat can transition to the front squat easily. Increased quadricep activation, like I said, high bar squat focuses more on quads than it does anything else. And better for heavy weightlifters, because Olympic lifting requires good, strong quads, a bit more than your glutes, your back, and hammies, but they will still play a part. When it comes to squat, all those will still play a part, but most of the moves when you do in Olympic lifting, the quads are more activated more than the others. The others just assist more. That's the benefits of high bar. Benefits of the low bar: increased strength. Low bar squats allow greater loads to be lifted, which can help increase overall strength because you're recruiting more of the posterior chain muscles to increase that strength. Because like I said, with the high bar squat, it's more quads. Low bar squat recruits your posterior chain, your muscles of the back more, your low back, glutes, and your hammies more. That's more muscles for your butt basically to lift heavier. And I just mentioned this. Improve posterior chain development. Low bar squats target glutes and hamstrings to a greater degree than high bar squats. Improve overall posterior chain development. They didn't mention your low back, but your low back is still part of it. Increase hip drive. Low bar squats require greater hip drive, which translates to improved performance in other exercises that require hip drive, such as deadlifts and cleans. Yes, if you notice that with the low bar squat, you don't need to go as low, because if you think about it, if you're doing a deadlift, you don't even have to go as low in the deadlift. So low bar squat translates better to doing deadlifts than a regular squat does, than the high bar squat does. It translates better. Can be better for powerlifters as it mimics the position of the deadlift. Did I not just say that? Did I just not say that? And here's the big one for me: reduce stress on the knees. Low bar emphasis hip activation requires less forward knee travel, reducing stress on knees. This makes low bar squats a better option for those with knee issues or for individuals who want to reduce knee stress during their workout. And that applies to me completely. I do have knee issues and I want to reduce knee stress. So that's why I do low bar squat. I prefer the low bar squat after I was introduced to it. Back in, I was still in college, not too long ago. I was going through a strength and conditioning class. He introduced that to me. The professor introduced the low bar squat. I'm like, okay, maybe I need to start doing this more, and I should lift heavy doing the low bar squat. So that's why I prefer to do it. So, but yeah, I'm not going through the whole article. I will post this article if you want to read the whole thing. There are more articles like this. You just got to look it up. I will put the link of this article in the description below also. So if you want to read the whole thing, go right ahead. So they'll probably put your mind at ease about the between the differences of low bar and high bar. So this is the last of it. You made this far. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe. Helps me out a lot. Reach our audience. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about my explanation between the low bar and the high bar squat, with some evidence and an article to throw in with it. An article, kind of like a semi-article view thrown in with it. Also, hit that notification bell for all future uploads, and share this with somebody who might need to know the difference between the squats if you're arguing about squat form and all that. But anyway, until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side. Y'all have a good one, and peace.